as important as it is to collect student data to analyze, it's also important for you to be able to share your results. A consideration when you do share your data is ensuring that it's secure and protected. You've worked hard to collect the data and input the data, so making sure it doesn't get changed is key. And luckily with Google Sheets, there's multiple ways to safeguard your spreadsheet data. And I'm going to talk about 5 of those ways. The first 2 ways involve protecting your sheet or a range of data. And in both cases, you can allow editing rights for your document while locking down portions that you don't want to be changed. So let's take a look. The first way is to protect your sheet. And down at the bottom of the screen here, you will see sheet 1 and little drop down arrow. And you can simply select the option to protect your sheet. So what you're saying is sheet 1, you do not want that to be changed. So when you click set the permissions, you can actually restrict who can edit this range. If only you should be able to change the data on this sheet, you can keep it as this, or you can use the custom option and add other people who would be able to make changes, and then only they would be able to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and protect the sheet by pressing done. All right, I'm going to get rid of that so I can show you the next option. The other option is, let's say that you're editing this sheet with other people and they need to be able to edit parts of the sheet, so you don't want to lock down the whole sheet. So let's say you want them to be able to add what the ELA test scores were, but you don't want them to change the Q1 and Q2 averages that you've put in. So all you would do to safeguard that is highlight columns F and J, and you would go to the Data tab and protect sheets and ranges, and you're going to see that it is protecting F1 through G16, and I can put in a description, but it's not required. And just like with protecting my sheet, I can set my permissions, and I can say that only I am allowed to change the Q1 and Q2 grades. If someone else comes in and they try to click on this, they will get a warning that they are not allowed to change it. Another nice tool in Google Sheets is data validation. So let's say that you've spent a lot of time formatting your sheet, and you want people to be able to add information, but you want them to keep the formatting you've set. And with data validation, you can limit the options that the collaborators have when inputting data into a cell. So let's say for the ELA state test scores, you only want them to put in a score of a 1, 2, 3, or 4, whereas they might put in like a 637 or a 97%, but you just want them to put in a 1, 2, 3, or 4. You would go to the Data tab and select Data Validation, and you can make a list. So you only would like them to be able to choose a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And you can choose to reject anything that is not a 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you want, in case you think it's going to be confusing, you can give them a little help. Please only input a number from 1 through 4, and then you can save it. And now you'll see this drop-down arrow, so when people come to your sheet, they can select from the drop-down. If they put in a number like 6, it'll say, sorry, you can only put in this number. So that's a way to keep your formatting. Another nice feature in the Tools menu is notification rules. So let's say that you did share the sheet and you're worried that someone's going to change it. Maybe you didn't want to protect your sheet because you are collaborating on it. You can set a notification rule. So that way, if anyone changes your sheet at all, you would get an email notification, and you can decide when you want to be notified. So I could say anytime a change is made, and I could decide to get an email right away, or at the end of the day, I could get a summary of all the changes that were made. So if it's super secure, I would do email right away, and then I'd press save. And I can delete that if I don't want to get that notification anymore, if I find myself getting too many emails. All right, and then last, when you share the document with people, you can utilize the advanced settings. Now in the bottom right, you can check this box to make sure that editors can't change access, meaning they cannot give someone else edit access that doesn't need it. And they also can't remove people who need to see the data from your document. Now, if you're giving people just the right to view the document and you have secure information like student grades, phone numbers, you want them to see the data, but you don't want them making their own copies or printing that data because it is secure, you can check this box. So what that would do is when the person goes to the file menu and they try to download their own copy or make another copy in their Google Drive or print it to the copier, those options will be ghosted out and they will not be able to do that. So they will not be able to share that data any other way. So these are some nice tips for you to protect the data in your sheet. Thanks for watching.